Sometimes I hate nerds. Sometimes I hate hipsters. I hate all labels, really. No, that's wrong. I love labels. I hate people.
Warning, the opinions and views expressed in this video are those of a fictional character. They do not necessarily reflect the views or opinions of the writer, the SHcMOOK network, or anybody, really.
Hello, I am the Hipster Nerd. It's not my real name, obviously. It's a screen name I invented so that you people don't know who I really am. I'm paranoid a little bit. However, I've come to find that it's better than my real name. My real name doesn't tell you anything about my identity, my personality, and it's easier to tell you that I'm a hipster nerd than to explain all the intricacies of my personhood to you. A lot of people argue that human beings can't be put into little boxes. I completely disagree. Human beings are finite. They're all unique, sure, but we all share common traits and group ourselves together based on common interests. I don't think there's anything wrong with using these labels and judging a person based on them. People mess it up though. They apply labels where they're inaccurate, both to themselves and to others. Consider this. When I made my username, being a nerd wasn't popular. If being a hipster meant that I hated the mainstream, and being a nerd means that I like things that are not cool, then it made sense then. Now it doesn't though. Now being a nerd is cool, and actually so is being a hipster, but that doesn't make any sense at all. So now there are people taking the labels of nerd and hipster indiscriminately just to make themselves seem cool. That's what we call being a poser. It's not good for anyone. It makes you a liar, so you're either found out and look like a liar, or you have guilt. At least you should have guilt. But you're representing all other nerds and hipsters when you aren't a nerd or a hipster at all, and if you do anything negative, it makes us all look bad. There's another side to it too. I mean, let's say the labels of nerd and hipster become so overused and so popular that I decide that I don't want to be one. I mean, if I stop playing video games, reading comic books, and doing fractal geometry in my spare time, just to seem like less of a nerd because that's so mainstream now, would I not be just as much of a poser as the person trying to be cool? I think so. So regardless of what your interests are, I think that we can all agree that we should all just be genuine about what our likes, interests, beliefs, etc. are, and not worry about whether it's cool, whether it's mainstream or not. At least to some extent. I mean, I don't even trust you people enough to tell you my real name. Which brings me back to my point. Labels are good. It's people that are the problem. Labels are good. Labels tell you all you need to know about a person. I mean, take me for example. You know that I'm a hipster and I'm a nerd. That means I like obscure things, I like weird things, and I prefer things that aren't really popular. You could easily figure out that I have very high standards of quality in all things, that I believe very strongly in honesty and truth and archaic values that one finds a lot in literature and not a lot here in real life. You could easily deduce that I don't doubt the existence of the supernatural, and so on and so forth. Or could you? That you could assume that I'm cold, calculated, and callous. I don't think that's true. Maybe it is, actually. But you could assume that I have no morals at all, that I believe only in what I see with my own eyes. That's sort of a valid assumption, I guess. You see, because the labels, as much as I like them, are too vague. Which isn't a problem with the labels themselves, it's a problem with how the labels are created. They're not defined by any objective source, they're defined by you people based on your previous experiences with people that you think fit the label. What if there's someone who also calls himself a hipster and a nerd, but has completely different values than me? What if he goes around doing things and saying things that I disagree with, that I consider wrong, maybe even immoral? What do I do? Do I denounce this person as not a true hipster or not a true nerd? Whatever that even means. Do I renounce my own claims on the labels because hipsters and nerds are considered something that I don't consider myself? Now, as long as he's not hurting anybody, I'm inclined to forgive his wrongdoings and look past it. But if I'm associating myself with something I disagree with, then what is the point of the label after all? Maybe I am wrong. Maybe labels aren't good. At least, not the way they're used now. controlled and defined by the aimless mind of the mob. But is that a problem with the labels, or is it a problem with the people? I'm the Hipster Nerd. Thanks for watching. I ship the Veggie Tails guy and that girl he's with a lot. Luke, maybe Joel is